Can't do it.
Gonna need a bigger impact. On today's episode of Watch Jared Go, we are back over at Eric's. You guys can see Rad Extreme over here, and we've got some updates on that, but what we're here for is to bring my Rolls Royce back from the dead.
This is the small, like medium.
Oh, I'm surprised. Color me surprised. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch JR Go, and like I said, we are over here with our LS swapped S10. It's obviously filthy from sitting out here for a very long time, but the other day when Eric and I were out buying that Ford Fusion for just $900, we made another deal, and I forgot what we paid, $50? Yeah. We paid just $50, you guys aren't gonna believe this, for a flawless set of extreme wheels. Not my old Z28 Camaro wheels, but these two wheels right here, 50 bucks with tires on them, and they hold air, a matching set of tires. This was incredible. You cannot find these extreme wheels that aren't absolutely destroyed like ours are. So that's what ours look like. You can see, I mean, they've been curbed, they're corroded. This is what came on this truck because of course it sat out in a field for who knows how many years before we went through and did a full restoration. Now it's dirty again, but we'll get that cleaned up. If you had a deep socket, it would work. Eric's ripping these old rear wheels and tires off of the S10. We're gonna throw those in the bed and get these ones on there. They look better. Soon, I'll find two more. I'll find a set of fronts because I think these are staggered. I think the rears are a little bit wider. On the back, they're running a lot bigger tires. So I'd like to find one more set of perfect fronts with some perfect center caps, and we'll be good to go all the way around this truck. It'll be back to being an extreme. Did you find your 19?
It's at the house.
Ah, it's a long walk.
A little impact, don't make fun of it.
It's not the size of the tool that matters. It definitely is the size of the tool that matters. You can't reach that. While Eric is on a mission to go get a deep 19 so he can use that impact to get these wheels off, I am gonna show you guys Rolls Smoke, something we haven't talked about in a very long time, but it hasn't moved. Well, it's moved, but it hasn't been started in about 4 years now since we built the thing for Cletus and cars. And unfortunately, it's in really bad shape after sitting outside for 4 years. It's time to walk out into the basically hurricane that we have here today. So again, I apologize for the audio, but here is my 1979 Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith 2, the Spirit of Ecstasy, that we built for Cletus and cars. Like I said, it has an LS6 from J&J Auto Wrecking, and it's been a little bit robbed. So you guys can see there's a lot of important stuff missing. It's filthy. Did you bring your blower?
Can't point it at me.
Well, I hate this blower because I'd much rather have a battery. But start it up, Eric. We need all 1 million mile per hour. It does run well. It's pushing my arm backwards. All right, it's as clean as we're gonna get it, I think. That was step one. This thing was absolutely filthy. The coils got robbed for Jeff's truck. The alternator has been robbed for that car, so we're gonna move the Camaro back in, pull my Mechman alternator off of it, and put it back over here. They are set up so the Mechman can move back and forth very quickly, but you know, once you buy one, what is this, like a $500 alternator, you really don't wanna buy another one. So, I love that alternator, it's beautiful, polished. That will come over here. Of course, you guys remember when we built this thing, the wheels have all just been powder coated, all the tires are new, and we've been using this Fantic inflator like crazy today. It's filled up every tire over here. So we're gonna use it to dig this thing back out of the weeds. It held air for like 3 years, but here on the 4th year of not moving, the new tires have started to lose air. So we're gonna hook this thing back up, set it to 33 or so any day now. and let it air this thing back up so it's off the ground, and we're gonna try to get this thing started. Another thing that happened while it was sitting for years, the front main seal just like gave up and poured oil all over the ground. So we have to check the oil, get that going again. It's only down to 20 pounds after 4 years. That's not bad. So before we actually stick the coils on, I think we might need to put the harnesses on that I just robbed from our parts cornet, because some of the wires run underneath the coil bracket. Okay, so we're gonna do that. The coils are back from Jeff's truck, but he took the wiring harness, which of course is the most expensive, hardest to find thing there is. GM charges an insane amount of money for this little harness right there. But it's different on almost every car. So this has like truck coils or some other kind of coils, 5.3 coils. They're always different, and those harnesses cost a ton. So luckily we have that parts LS1. I went and took its wiring harness. We're gonna make sure this thing's still charging. It is. And then we'll unhook the battery on this after we move it in, move the alternator and those coils, put the spark plug wires back, fill it back up with fluids, and hopefully the Rolls smoke runs again. It's not gonna move, but it might live. We're bringing all the LS swaps back to life today. Ooh, this thing's dirty. A lot different than what it looks like when it goes to a show, that's for sure. But this thing obviously is amazing. We just hooked the battery jump pack up to it actually, and she was ready to go. We need to store it with the battery not hooked up. Yeah, probably the move. Or on a battery tender, one of the two. Still absolutely beautiful under the hood, and she fired right up. And now we're gonna head out here and fire up the 67 Camaro, get that moved back in here, then we can steal its alternator. That was the goal. This is nothing like my other 67 Camaro, that's for sure. Fuel pump. Oh, jump pack must have shut off. There it is. Wow, that fuel pump's crazy now. Runs so well. This thing was in neutral. It could have been in drive and it would have started. That's a mistake waiting to happen right there. Boom, we're moving. It has no neutral safeties or anything, that's for sure. We got the alternator off the 67 Camaro and back into the LS Rolls-Royce. Boy, it makes everything look clean again. If we just wash this thing, it looked like a new truck, like it is. New, well, whatever it is. Car, truck. Yeah, it's on a tank frame, so I can call it a truck.
It's kind of more of a truck, yeah.
Yeah, it's really on a full tank frame.
It's got a truck transmission.
Truck transmission.
Truck frame.
Yes, sir. All right.
Heavy as a truck.
It is as heavy as a truck, 6,000 pounds. All that's left now is checking all the fluids and putting the accessory belt back on, and we'll be able to start this thing. So we're gonna start with the belt because we don't actually know how it routes or anything like that. We're gonna figure that one out, and then we'll get back to you guys in just a minute as we fill this thing up with gas, oil, transmission fluid, and hook up to some power. Still smells good climbing back in the old Rolls-Royce. And hopefully, I've got the jump pack hooked up. I heard clicking noises. Look at that. So sick. The clock, the outside temp gauge, everything came back to life. Dude, this is the best cluster ever made. Ever made. You ready? I heard the fuel pump. You see any fuel leaks? I'm gonna go one more time with the fuel pump. We should be able to see fuel pressure on the screen. I don't know why I'm even rebooting her. Starting up. Fuel pressure is 55. All right, here we go. 4 years later, we have a misfire. I forgot how to use the B&M trick shifter, our Quicksilver that we have in here. It was just in like reverse, so the drive shaft was flopping around since it's not hooked up to anything. Now we know, and I figured out how to get back into park. You have to like go to neutral, then lift up, and then bump it twice, and you can put it back. Let's see how she's doing here. We've got AFR. Wow, AFR is nails. Nails. 14. Oil pressure is 33. Fuel pressure right around 60. Oh, this thing is too good, dude. Too good. Too bad the gauges are a little dirty. Your finger doesn't slide very well. I think we have the GPS hooked up, so it should give us a speedometer. Oh, look at that. That'll probably work. She's back to life. Got our nitrous inputs. This thing's just too cool. I can even see map over here. Our custom Rolls-Royce throttle welded into a GM sensor is living. This car sounds great.
Just waiting for the grass fire since the exhaust is...
It might catch the grass on fire. You think they're coming to fix your internet?
They were here earlier.
I'm guessing they won't.
Oh, they're doing somebody else's. Waiting for my fiber.
Yes, sir. Man, this car runs too well. Even the mirror came back to life. We get the roll smoke badge. There we go, roll smoke. I think we can like zoom and stuff like that. I don't even remember how this thing works. Look at that, videos of every time we've used this thing. Videos of Josh and I building it. Zach's over there. So cool. We are cooking a whole bunch of oil off everything that's been sitting. Oh, it's over there. I dripped some transmission fluid while I was checking the fluid.
Yeah, you did.
I bet I got it on the header. Crazy how well this thing runs.
It's leaking coolant.
Oh, from that hose that doesn't have a clamp? Yep, it sure is.
I'll see if I got one.
Have you guys ever seen a hose clamp just give up? A worm clamp over there just quit on us. Split in half. Woohoo! I forgot how much of the nitrous is hooked up. We could open the bottle and do a little purge. It's all the way up to temp already, which is impressive. We better give this thing a couple baby revs just to make sure it's still amazing. I just crawled under it and I saw that exhaust and I forgot like just how much money the exhaust cost on this thing. You got a clamp?
But you're gonna leak all the coolant out. Shut it off.
Oh. All right, no more coolant leak. You can see we were blowing a little bit of coolant out, but now that there's another hose clamp on there, we are good to go. This car runs so well. Unbelievably, after all these years, the fastest power windows in the game. Rolls-Royce doesn't mess around. Oh, wrong one. That one's not fast. That one's dead.
We gotta save it so I have something to take the kids to school in.
That's what you want to do?
A tremendous amount of work to drive it a couple days a week.
Yep.
You definitely wouldn't think this is what's rolling down the road when you hear it.
No, that's for sure.
We need these mufflers on the S10.
We need these mufflers on everything, but yeah,
Sound great.
It was insanely expensive. Rion at PWS, and he welded this with, it has like a custom X pipe.
Yeah,
it all looks like art under there.
It's dumped like right here.
Yeah. Super, super nice.
Yes.
Well, we built it so the exhaust would hit the tires and blow the smoke out each side at full throttle.
Yeah, I see the angles, yeah. It sounds good.
Yeah, sounds crazy. Wow. Guys, the data logging on the Holley is so beautiful too. You can see the max coolant temp before the fans came on, and then where it's sitting with the fans running right now, the coolest, and also AFR I don't have min-max on, but on fuel pressure I've got min-max. You can see that it's been at 65 all the way down to 50, probably when it was revved, and then oil pressure all the way up to 60 when it's got a few RPM in it there. Well, it lives again 4 years after the last time this thing ran, and I did check all the fluids and everything was there and good, which is surprising. I'm not sure what leaked out, but whatever it was had covered my driveway at home. Maybe it was just coolant because, of course, that clamp had broken, and coolant kind of acts like oil sitting on your driveway when it's just a slow leak over time. So we got that fixed. It ran for 20-30 minutes here, so I'd say this thing's ready to rock and roll, but obviously it still needs a rear end and it needs a new drive shaft because everything broke when the drive shafts exploded while we were doing our first test burnouts. So unfortunately, like I said, not moving today, but we got it living again, which is something, so we can get it on a trailer and get it over to the new shop. So it's a great sounding horn. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjargo.com for cool shirts like this, but not like this. I might, if you guys want one of these shirts, tell me in the comments below, and I'll have them release this shirt. This shirt was designed for this car, and I didn't like it because I wanted smoke instead of the flames, but then I have the only copy of this shirt that was ever made, and I decided that I kind of like the flames. So let me know if you guys want a roll smoke shirt. Maybe if there's a bunch of support for this car, we can get a rear end put back together in a fab shop around here. It's been really hard to find anybody that'll work on this because they want to work on race cars. They don't want to work on this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. Do you think the battery will stay charged after a couple of minutes?
Nope.
I agree with you. Let's unhook the jump pack. Go ahead. You can kill it. Close the old hood. Look at all that nitrous. 15 pounds. And I think it's still full. Oh yeah. We got almost 1,000 PSI of nitrous in there. Shut this thing off. Ooh, she's warm. All right, is the display still on the car?
No.
That was all she wrote. Battery is done. Well, the battery has been in here dead for 4 years as well. A few of you guys were probably around when we built this thing, but all that nitrous, all that, just the Holley bill on this thing was $14,000, basically $15,000. Oop, that didn't shut. There we go. Nope. Does it? Apparently it just shuts that much. Maybe the seals went bad. And yeah, this thing cost $30,000 to build. And then it needed, it's probably another 10 at the chassis shop. For anybody that wonders why it's not done yet. $50,000 in a Rolls Royce that might go fast.